Bright lights, amazing stages, all the glitz and glamour in around the world is all here right now. I intend to be your muse, inspire greatness today, and that's all we're about, making a significant difference in the lives of people, creating positive change one step at a time. Now, thank you so much for joining us on your #1 premium family breakfast show. It is Wake Up Nigeria. Now, we are here for you all week from Monday to Friday. We would always go the extra mile to make sure you have a fantastic day. Now, remember, you have to follow all the health guidelines as we join in the fight against the virus. Now, we advise that you remain indoors, wash your hands as often as possible. Trust me, no amount of times is too much. My name is Tokwe Olonio, and guess what? Another interesting thing about Wake Up Nigeria is you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Also, we want to know what's happening where you are, want to know how you're coping, want to know what movies you're watching, whatever it is you're doing. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on all our social media platforms and share your experiences this period with us. Remember also, we have an app. Have you downloaded it? If you've not downloaded it, don't waste time. It's available for download on any Android and iOS store, and it allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world. Guess what? We have a fully packed show for you today. Hey, how are you? This is a new, I want to say Christmas clothes, but Christmas is far. This is a quarantine suit.
Yeah, well, something like that.
Oh,
Slightly late today.
Yes, you need to pay. Fine.
Well, so I woke up late and then I now discovered that there were more checkpoints today than usual.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I had to stop several times. Questions, and since there were on Terminal Bridge, there was a bit of traffic.
Oh, really?
Well, not traffic, just a long line of cars.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, so long line of cars. So that took another 5-10 minutes. And when you're coming in the morning, every single minute matters.
Yeah, it does matter.
So it took almost 10 minutes for us to get through those cars, and finally, okay, press. All right, go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, mine, it was more like, Auntie, what are you doing at this time of them? Oh my days. Oh, cool.
But you have a sticker, right? You have a pass.
I do have it. But trust me, before they even look at the pass, the fact that you're a lady driving at this time of the morning,
exactly,
they want to ask you questions.
Lots of questions.
Yeah, but I mean, it's for our safety, so I don't even allow myself to get upset or anything.
It's good. Yeah, so go ahead.
Oh. So, yeah. The topic for relationship, I'm so excited. How much
submission
is enough submission? I feel like I've just been getting tutorials, preparatory classes. Yeah,
so I guess the expert is going to probably use a lot of scriptures.
Wow, the show is just 10 minutes into the show.
I know. I'm just saying that he's probably going to use a lot of scriptures to support his point. But for people who are not that religious, it's going to be a bit more difficult to accept or to swallow. When you're telling them you need to submit, this is what the Bible says, and then the woman is like, I can't relate.
I don't feel like your best bet should be via the scriptures. I feel like you should give practical reasons, practical real life situations that will make me understand.
Exactly. So practical real life situations, and also maybe examples of marriages that have been very successful, not just outwardly, but also actually. You understand? You know how a marriage can be successful on social media.
Yes. And you have beautiful pictures of your kids.
And then suddenly,
life looks perfect.
Suddenly the woman is taking off her ring. You're like, they were just together last week on the red carpet. And then, now. So really important. I think practical examples, those kinds of things would make people feel more comfortable with that kind of argument. Yeah, because it's the 21st century.
Yeah, so we'll definitely wait to see how that goes, but I will be taking the news now. The Minister of Health has assured that Kano State is currently getting an accelerated response to the outbreak of the coronavirus in the state. Also, health authorities say they now plan to test 2 million Nigerians in 3 months. TVC News senior correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
Virtual task force.
The DG of the Center for Disease Control, Chike Ikweazu, says more financial and material resources will be required to quickly flatten the curve of transmission. He says the cost of carrying out one COVID-19 test is about $18. He also recently disclosed that more than 11,000 tests have been conducted across the country. That means about 80 million naira have been spent on testing alone in Nigeria, and even more spent on procuring medical facilities and personal protective equipment. Despite all of these, the coordination of the government's response plan remains a priority for the Presidential Task Force, especially the situation in Kano, which continues to draw so much attention.
In order to test 2 million people in 3 months across the country, we need to test about 50,000 per state, plus minus depending on your population size. There's no other way we can do this. We need the cooperation and collaboration of every state government in Nigeria, every Department of Public Health, and we need the collaboration of the people living in these states. The only entry point into control of this outbreak is through testing.
As the next phase of the lockdown begins, with a projected plan for a phased and gradual easing of lockdown measures, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation says it is also time to take a greater personal responsibility to slow down the spread of the virus.
This is a time for each and every one of us to take personal responsibility. And the only way we can take personal responsibility is to take heed of the adversaries, the medical adversaries of keeping social distancing, of personal hygiene, of wearing masks, of avoiding unnecessary travels and unnecessary visitations.
The glimmer of hope in the dark cycle of the coronavirus is the expansion of testing capacity in Nigeria. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
The Senate has approved President Muhammadu Buhari's request to raise a fresh loan of 850 billion naira from the domestic capital market to finance projects in the 2020 budget. The 850 billion naira loan requested is different from the 500 billion naira loan earlier requested by the federal government to fund the socio-economic program. It is the first sitting since the 24th of March 2020 when both chambers suspended all sessions due to the coronavirus outbreak. Lawmakers went straight to business as the reason for their sudden resumption is to help sustain solutions to the health crisis which has affected several sectors of the economy, including the funding of the 2020 budget. After a closed-door session, the Senate began the day by opening letters from President Muhammadu Buhari. One of such letters requested a fresh loan approval of 850 billion naira from the domestic capital market. This fresh loan request is intended to fund some capital projects in the 2020 budget. The Senate granted an accelerated approval to this request after suspending Order 1, which determines how legislative matters are treated. It directed its committees on finances and appropriations to liaise with the finance minister for more details on the loan request in view of the new external borrowing plan. Senators sought to abide by the safety guidelines by putting on safety kits and also maintaining social distancing in the chamber, leaving 2 seats in between them. Well, that's it on News Update for this hour. We'll take a break and return with sports. Yes, so I'm starting off with the Punch. Today is Wednesday, 29th of April. We have here Buhari's team lands in Kano as 5 more personalities die. Federal government reserves hotels for Dubai returnees in Lagos. President Trump speaks on coronavirus. U.S. pledges ventilators. Suspected coronavirus patient dies in Ondo hospital. Workers in fear. We have a photo story here, scenes of the distribution of palliatives by a non-governmental organization at Oshodi, Lagos on Tuesday. There's like 3 different photo stories here. At the bottom, we have 300 stranded Nigerians suffering from starvation in Guangzhou. Policemen assault nurse motorcyclist at Ondo checkpoint. Fire slashes political appointees pay by 50%. At the top of the paper, we have federal government seeks Jonathan Desiani's foreign account details. I have no foreign bank account, says ex-president. Also, we have COVID-19. IMF okays Nigeria's $3.4 billion emergency loan. Senate okays Buhari's request to borrow 850 billion naira locally. Germany grants federal government 8.9 billion naira debt relief. Donates 2.2 billion naira. This and more in the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, let's check out The Nation. A relaxation of lockdown, not end of COVID-19, says government. And pandemic virus still potent and dangerous. 2 million Nigerians are target for test. Troops drafted to secure isolation centers. Now up here we have a few stories. Reps seek 36 billion naira special fund for states. Summon SGF, NCDC, DG. And IMF approves $3.4 billion emergency loan to Nigeria. Seeks unified rate. And government agencies clash over palliative rice. And NAFDAC false customs. And at the bottom here, 150 non-indigents sent away by Rivers government. Wike arrests 5 for violating lockdown rules. And yeah, that's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Moving to the cover of Daily Sun this morning, we have COVID-19. Trump calls Buhari, promises to donate ventilators. Germany donates 2.2 billion naira. NCDC opens 2 new labs in Lagos and Ogun State. Targets 2 million tests in 3 months. Urges Nigerians to adopt new way of life. A photo story here showing the House of Representative members observing 1 minute silence for those who lost their lives over COVID-19 pandemic as National Assembly resumes plenary in Abuja yesterday. Also, we have federal government rules out reopening of schools soon. Mysterious death claim father of Naun VC, BUK lecturer, notable cleric in Kano. 2020 budget under fresh threat as IOC's plan oil output cut. NLC rejects salary cut over COVID-19. Aviation unions hit Arik Air, reject forced leave of 90% workforce, 80% pay cut. At the top of the paper, here we have Senate approves Buhari's 850 billion naira loan request in 5 minutes. Bars journalists from covering proceedings. You can see this and more in the Daily Sun this morning.
All right, that's about all that we can take for this hour in the newspapers. We're going to be back after this break.
You have to avoid malevolent people. You know, those your friends that come into your social media page when they see you in America and like, where are you? Like, did we have a covenant that I will tell you where I'm traveling to? Mentors who kill your spirit in the name of advice. Sisters who talk to you about marriage by shaming you, by making you feel less than yourself. Friends who promise to help you, but all they do while trying to help you is to tell you how terrible a human being you are. Colleagues who communicate advice or help with negative energy. You know, people who make you feel terrible about yourself, people who are sharing their testimonies to you, but are somehow making it clear how much better their lives are than yours. You need to avoid them. You need to avoid anybody or anything that kills your spirit. You need to avoid any situation, any group, any circumstance, and especially people, you know, because malevolence will kill your spirit. Malevolence will make you feel like you can't be, that there's something wrong with you, that there is something messed up about you, that not only you are kakom, that other people have figured life out and you're the one who's different, weird. If a person constantly talks to you, treats you in a way that makes you feel as if there is nothing good about you, that person is malevolent. You should stay far from that person.
Yeah.
Stay far from it. a lot of people.
Stay far from people.
From a lot of people.
Well, this period, you know, it's a period where people reach out. So sometimes even people you haven't heard from in a long time, they just reach out to you.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well, and I think it's good.
Yeah, but I don't like when people reach out and say, you didn't even call me.
Oh yeah,
at this point, if I don't call you, you don't know what I'm dealing with.
Exactly.
I'm dealing with something.
When you reach out to someone, just reach out to them.
Reach out.
Based on the fact that, look, you love them, you just want to check up on them to see how well they're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's, just come from that angle, and don't worry about anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing I was thinking yesterday, how much this lockdown has made us, I don't know for other people, made me reevaluate the things that are important. Like, apart from the basic things that I need, like this period has made me cut out unnecessary things, like things that I would do on a normal day. I'm not doing them because I actually don't need to do them. And I feel like for a lot of people, this will teach a lot of people how to save, how to focus on what's important, and how to just, it's not more about the glitz and glam of life. It's now just about surviving.
I mean, somebody was saying the other day that this lockdown has basically created a balance in the world among people, because it looks like everybody has the same fears, which is just, you know, we need to survive, we need to ensure that we live. And now the most important thing to most people is their health and their survival. As opposed to back in the day where, okay, I have to hustle, I have to get money in. And do this,
in fact, sometimes you would see some people like in other countries, and they are just like, you see the same earth that we are, like, is it not hustle that I'm hustling that you're hustling, but you are blue? But now you're seeing someone, I was watching the live and I'm like, so you to coronavirus with your country.
Exactly.
Like, now we're all equal.
So basically, I mean, and like, you know, like they've always said, all men are created equal.
Yeah.
So now, no matter how many cars you have, it's all parked in your garage.
Not going nowhere.
No
matter how many houses you've bought, you're living inside one.
You're living inside one. So, you know, basically it's forced people to start thinking, and even made many people philosophical, because now they're thinking, okay, so what are the things that are really important? You know, it's forced people to confront themselves for the first time, probably in years.
Yes,
you know.
probably ever, because I don't think anything has required us to stay at home for such a long period, and then the first few days you can actually be distracted by the news and everything, and then next thing you start to find yourself thinking about, so my life, and so what happens after the lockdown. And I feel like a lot of people after the lockdown would still be in their mental space, because you realize that you survived without a lot of things.
Exactly. And there are many people, because I was reading up yesterday just about people in general and how people respond in such circumstances. There are certain people who are introverts and they're fine by themselves, so they can be at home all weekend long and not go out. But there's some other people who feed off the energy of others. So the reason why I feel like I'm alive is when I'm seeing other people, or when I'm out, when there's a lot of noise and all that. So those kinds of people are finding it tougher than regular people. So for such people, the recommendation is try and, you know, keep in touch. Try and always be speaking, you know, look for somebody to talk to, either on the phone, on the internet, engage. You know,
I think they could also start exercise, because I read exercising releases, what's those hormones?
Adrenaline?
No, not adrenaline. The endorphins, yes. And they're like happy hormones, so they just make you happy. And I feel like it's something you should do. You take a run, take a walk. If you feel like you've been locked in for so long, you could take an early morning run, an early morning walk, and come back home.
So that you don't have, because people are now talking about post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm like, okay, why? You know, but it's actually real.
Yeah, it's
actually real for some people, because now they feel, so people react to things in different ways. So there are certain people that if they're in a confined space, they get anxious, they get all kinds of panic attacks and things like that. What's going to happen? You know, I'm alone in the house. In the middle of the night, am I going to be robbed? So things like that. So when people feel that way, they also need to, that also needs to be dealt with. Probably by a professional. I hope it doesn't get into that area, because they're now saying there's going to be an epidemic of mental health issues.
Yeah, I feel it would be wise for most companies at this point when they're considering reopening to consider getting like a mental health expert to just do like maybe two days for like a month, like 2 days a week, just like an hour or 2 hour
find out
sessions.
about people. Exactly.
Yeah, talk to them and just help them. Or because to be honest, when I listened to the president's speech of I think on Monday evening, and then he's like, there'll be gradual reopening. I kind of like freaked out. I'm just like, people.
Exactly.
Because to be honest, I got really comfortable not seeing people, being in my space. And next time I'm like, oh my days, I'm going to see so many people.
Gradually be going
yeah,
back.
like
Exactly.
why? Just stay at home.
Yeah, so I mean, so for some who haven't, I mean, we have this opportunity and we're blessed to be able to come out of the house at least 2-3 days a week.
Yeah.
But imagine the people who have been stuck at home for 5 straight weeks. So it's going to take such people about a month to even adjust to getting back to their normal lives, facing the traffic. It's going to take about a month because 5 weeks you've been out. Completely locked down.
Chilled.
Exactly. So you've been chilled. You've probably are now used to the sedentary life, what they call village life. You know, when you go to the village, everything's quiet.
It's so calm and peaceful.
You sleep in the village. You sleep till 6:37. You're wondering, why is everywhere still so quiet? You're not hearing the noises of cars outside your window and things like that. So all of that, you know, it's going to take a while for people to start building themselves back up and build their energy to
people who didn't practice a healthy lifestyle this period might have a bit of setback with their health because your body is going to react like, how did I go from so slow to fast again? And it's going to make people start. Your body will pretty much wonder what's going on.
Exactly.
Because, you know, for Lagos for one, it's going to hit you, boom, back in the traffic, back with the sirens, the horns, everybody blowing up and down.
So I think that phased easing back into normal life is I think the best way to go. So the president made a good call there. So that what will eventually going to happen is maybe people go to work at 9 o'clock, close at 3 or close at 4. And then, so that the traffic is then staggered from 4, 5, 6, you know, that kind of a thing, as opposed to everybody comes out of the office at 6 o'clock and everywhere's just jammed.
Yeah, but I mean, if you still think about it in Lagos, everybody coming out of the office at 3 p.m., everywhere will still be jammed.
Well, some will close at 4. So some people will close at 3, some will close at 4. And then, you know, so it's still just to create a good balance, really. Yeah. And then speaking of work, lots of industries are suffering right now. Hotels are not doing so great.
No one will want to leave their house.
Hotels are not doing so great. All the really, really big 5-star hotels, especially on the island, not doing well at all. So they have all these Italian chefs and chefs from China and different, and all those guys are just there.
Doing nothing.
So one of the really big ones, the one that you hear about, you know, all the time, has now started making.
I don't know what you're talking.
Has now started making food for delivery.
Wow.
5-star hotel.
They should call me. Let me do tasting. Let me just have them taste and advertise.
Now you can order for a gourmet meal. So they'll send you like the menu. So you say, okay, I want the barracuda.
Wow.
I want this one and that one, and the shrimp. And the caviar and everything. Then they'll package it and then have it delivered to your house. Then you pay your 25K for
Let me just tell you people, be like me. This period, I've turned to chef. I go on the internet, I find recipes, I do it myself.
They're trying to they're trying to continue to ensure that their Italian chefs are engaged and the German general managers and all that. I mean, these guys earn money in dollars.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine the month of March and the month of April, no work, but you still have to pay the guy maybe $10,000 or $20,000 per month.
For food. That was a natural reaction.
He's a gourmet chef. You brought him from Italy.
When he was gourmet. When he be going.
You brought the guy from Italy. You're going to pay him, especially if he decided to stay with you.
They're lucky they're not related to me. I'll say, you know what, just go and stay in my house first.
You know,
eating normal food, gourmet.
So order for your gourmet meals, go online. And,
keep
these guys employed. Keep everyone employed. But it's good. So very soon people are going to be going back to work.
Yeah.
Begin to prepare.
Prepare yourself.
Mentally, physically, because it's very, very soon.
Yes. And get your face masks.
No, they say holiday is over.
I'll say holiday is coming. Holiday is over. Holiday is over. We're going on a break. We'll be right back.
Jealousy is always doing you.
Wow. You're bringing it here. You know what?
Jealous much.
Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to bring it here. Yomi has decided to jump on a challenge this morning.
Stop now.
Oh, okay.
Why you just calm down?
I thought you said I'm jealous.
The brethren are watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single one step. And we are glad to have taken that you have taken that step by joining us on the #1 breakfast show this morning.
Welcome to the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria. 1 hour gone by already, pretty fast.
Yeah.
And we've got another hour and 45 minutes to go, so get ready.
Yes, it is a marathon of top-notch family entertainment filled with all you want. Trust me, there's nothing else you want in the breakfast show that Wake Up Nigeria doesn't have.
It's like a delicious buffet.
Yes.
Of different things.
Local.
And which 5-star hotels are now offering.
Yes.
So get online.
We're giving you for free. Gourmet.
Exactly.
What did you call
exactly.
it again? Which one again? Balagina. Barracuda. Yes.
Yeah, whatever you need. Shrimps,
some spicy.
lobsters, whatever.
We drop it for you, you know, just
we're gonna drop it for
salt, base some things. My name is Tokwe Olonio.
And I'm Yomi Ope. Stream right now this show if you have to go to the gym or something.
Yeah.
TVCentertainment.tv is where we are. And on Facebook as well, at TVC Connect.
Yes, now, have you downloaded our app? Oops, you didn't know we had an app? We have an app. It's available on Android and iOS stores, and it's free. Guess what? It allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
All right, so straight to what we've got for you for the rest of the show. Interior designer and creative director of the exclusive lifestyle interiors, Tunde Shanu. You're talking to us about 7 things you must have in your living room.
Okay, now let's find out what Chef V has been up to in the kitchen. I'm sure it's mouth-watery.
So this cooker with my cooking, I'm sharing a quick recipe. My peanut butter chicken toast sandwich.
Look,
Yeah.
whoever.
Okay, so I saw you did 1 or 2 monologues or something
Oh, yeah.
during the
I
week.
jumped on
You know, I
the
stalked you
monologue
on the
challenge.
internet.
Yeah, you're just one of my fans.
Okay, so
You
why
can
did you
deal.
do it? Why did you do it? Tell us why you did it.
So it's the lockdown and you're experimenting new angles to your life. And I thought that I'm kind of like uptight on social media, and I thought to try out a challenge for a movie project that I would definitely
Love to be on.
love to be a part of. So I thought to jump on it, and I thought to give it a twist. You know, the house is something. Yeah, and the reviews have been good.
You're
so
not a shabby actor.
wow.
You're trying.
It's life. So it's
Wait,
people like you that truly didn't know what I was talking about.
What did he
Cut
say?
you off.
You're gonna cut me off
I'ma
for
cut you off.
complimenting your talent.
Where's the complimenting? You're not a shabby actor.
You're not bad. Like I would go to the movies to watch you.
Strong
Is
actor.
what, who's a
We'll
strong
tell you
actor?
to do monologue now if you will not just mess up all over the place. I see.
I would have you know that I was in Macbeth.
Which one? The one that Shakespeare himself did. Ganga.
Shakespeare was like 500 years ago, but I was in the Macbeth play. I was also in The Gods Are Not to Blame play. Several plays that I've been on.
This is why we're trying to find out what else Yomi has been. The Nation headlines: we have relaxation of lockdown, not end of COVID-19, says government. Pandemic virus still potent, dangerous. 2 million Nigerians are targets for test. Troops drafted to secure isolation centers. There's a photo story here giving us clear and detailed analysis of the COVID-19 global cases, deaths, recovery, and active cases as well. There's a photo story here showing a motorized fumigator donated to the Lagos State government being tested at the Lagos House Marina yesterday. 150 non-indigenes sent away by Rivers government. Wike arrests 5 for violating lockdown rules. U.S. to donate ventilators to federal government. Bandits kill inspector in Kaduna State. Moving to the top of the paper, we have reps seek 36 billion naira special fund for states, summon SGF NCDC DG. IMF approves $3.4 billion emergency loan to Nigeria, 6 unified rate. Government agencies clash over palliative rice. NAFDAC faults customs. You can see this and more in the Nation newspaper today.
All right, The Punch's got the headline. Buhari's team lands in Kano as 5 more personalities die. Federal government reserves hotels for Dubai returnees in Lagos. And President Trump speak on coronavirus as U.S. pledges ventilators. Suspected coronavirus patient dies in Ondo hospital. Workers fear. And federal government seeks Jonathan Diazani's foreign account details. I have no foreign bank account, says ex-president. And COVID-19, IMF okays Nigeria's $3.4 billion emergency loan. 8 power plants idle. Generation tumbles to 2,900 megawatts. Gunmen kill driver, kidnap friend in Ondo. Umahi begs banned journalist, says feud not intentional. And federal government declares Friday public holiday for Workers' Day. Fireman slashes political appointees' pay by 50%. And policemen assault nurse motorcyclist at Ondo checkpoint. And finally, 300 stranded Nigerians suffering from starvation in Guangzhou, China.
Next up, we have Daily Sun, and we have Lagos Chief Judge approves hearing of cases via Zoom and Skype. COVID-19, Trump calls Buhari, promises to donate ventilators. Germany donates 2.2 billion naira. NCDC opens 2 new labs in Lagos and Ogun State. Targets 2 million tests in 3 months. Urges Nigerians to adopt new way of life. The photo story here showing us House of Representative members observing 1 minute silence for those who lost their lives over COVID-19 pandemic as National Assembly resumes plenary in Abuja yesterday. Federal government rules out reopening of schools soon. Mysterious death claim father of Naun VC, BUK lecturer, notable cleric in Kano. 2020 budget under fresh threat as IOC's plan oil output cut. NLC rejects salary cut over COVID-19. Aviation unions hits Arik Air, reject forced leave of 90% workforce and 80% pay cut. Finally, we have Senate approves Buhari's 850 billion naira loan request in 5 minutes. Bars journalists from covering proceedings.
We've got the Nigerian Tribune here. COVID-19, IMF approves $3.4 billion for Nigeria. And Senate approves Buhari's request for 850 billion naira loan. And loan approval part of 2020 budget, says the DMO. And reps summon PTF Health Minister, NCDC Director General. Trump, in phone conversation with Buhari, promises to send ventilators to Nigeria. Diverse reactions trail Buhari's Monday broadcast. Nigerians speak on curfew, interstate lockdown, palliative. And no definite date for reopening of schools, says federal government. We neither sampled nor tested customs rice in Oyo, says NAFDAC. COVID-19, Nigeria has lost enormous revenue. Senate President Reps Speaker calls for wholesome reform of governance structure. Mulls plan for second economic stimulus legislation. Yoruba Nation now 45th UNPO member, says Akintoye. And Kano needs more testing centers, says Ganduje. And NCDC opens 2 more laboratories. And total now 17. Nasarawa records first COVID-19 case. And our photo story this morning, food items set for distribution during the flag off of free distribution in Oshogbo, Osun State on Tuesday. This was yesterday. And of course, you can see committee member Chief Adebayo Jimo there addressing the media. And that's it on the Tribune.
Moving on to Daily Trust, we have security operatives lack protective gears, exposed to coronavirus. We have no helmets, face masks, goggles, says the police. Give us duty allowance like health workers. No budget for COVID-19, but we are trying, force spokesman. treat them like humans, says experts. There's also a photo story here showing policemen and other security personnel assigned to ensure the lockdown order of the federal and state governments in the FCT and its environs, working without protective kits against the coronavirus spread. Ironic. Senate approves Buhari's 850 billion naira loan request. Representatives to China safeguard lives of Nigerians and other Africans. COVID-19 fight now in your hands, federal government tells Nigerians. At the top of the paper, we have federal government says Kano mass deaths not extraordinary. P&IDFG requests Jonathan Daisiani and others accounts from the U.S. And that's what we have for Daily Trust.
All right, let's check out the Vanguard. That's the last newspaper we've got. And COVID-19 reps call for cut in cost of governance. Hope we can start with them. And want urgent diversification of economy. Abaribe Ndume concur as Governor Fayemi cuts pay for political appointees by 50%. I have no property abroad, former President Jonathan says. And ban Umahi bows, pleads with journalists. And COVID-19, federal government targets 2 million tests in 3 months as U.S. promises Nigeria ventilators. Mysterious deaths. Toll rises as more die in Kano. Gunduje raises alarm over fear of community transmission. Lagos records 80 new cases as confirmed cases rise to 1,532. IMF approves $3.4 billion emergency support for Nigeria. And 2 killed, many injured, over 200 houses razed, 5,000 displaced in Benue clash. Wow. And how inmates overwhelm security men at Sapele prisons. And that story is on page 26. Finally, on the cover of the Vanguard, 2020 budget. Federal government to now borrow 1.5 trillion naira locally. Wow. And that's what we've got on the cover of the Vanguard.
Yes, now on Home Makeover, we have interior designer and creative director of the exclusive lifestyle interiors, Tunde Shanu. Now, he will be talking to us about 7 things you must have in your living room. Let's speak with him. Good morning, Mr. Tunde Shanu.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
How have you been holding up during the lockdown?
Very well, very well. Been doing some interesting things to keep body and soul together.
Oh, tell me about it.
A lot of exercising, a lot
Okay.
of creativity.
Oh, yeah?
Artwork with my kids. We've been doing a whole lot of things. Just
Oh,
to
that's
redecorate
great.
our space and keep healthy.
Oh, great. Now, let's delve into our conversation for today, which is 7 things you must have in your living room space. I'm already worried that I don't even have one. So could you just quickly outline them and then we discuss them?
Okay. Basically, 7 things that you must have for any living room.
Yes.
Yeah, so number 1 is you must have something that is alive, something living, like your plant.
Okay.
You must have like a potted plant in your living space or arrangement of flowers that have beauty and color into your space.
Fresh flowers or any type of artificial flowers?
For aesthetics, you can use artificial, but for health, basically fresh flowers are preferred. So if you can maintain fresh flowers, I would say fresh flowers preferably.
Okay.
Yes. So number 1, it helps clean up your hair, then basically gives life into your space.
Okay.
Yes. So the number 2 is you must have a comfortable rug, a centerpiece rug in your.
I didn't get that. We must have what?
A center rug.
Center rug. Okay.
Yes, a comfortable center rug.
Oh.
It helps. It helps basically cool down your living space. So it basically it's like a centerpiece of your space.
Okay.
Then you space.
Okay.
Then you must make sure that the center rug is a very soft and textured one, with a nice texture. Sorry.
Yes.
So A center rug is part of it. Then number 3 is coffee table. A coffee table is is a very essential part of your living space.
Really? Why is it essential?
It's essential because it's multifunctional. Number 1, it gives character to your space because
Okay.
you can make it in any type of design you want. There's a lot of design for coffee tables. Then it's functional for the fact that you can keep your you can use it for your magazines. You can
Yeah,
use it for
newspapers and all.
visitors and all that. So
Okay.
basically, it has character to your space. Then you can play with the color and the texture too of it.
Okay, next what do we have?
Then we can do something personal. Add something personal to your space.
Okay,
Something personal might be your family picture frame.
okay,
Yes, or things you acquired while on a travel. Some things that are unique to you and your family experience.
oh, okay,
So you have to have that in your space. It makes your space original to you.
okay.
So basically, giving your space something that somebody else won't have.
Okay. And next,
Yes.
what do we have?
Then the next one is window treatment.
Window
That's your
treatment.
That's your curtains.
Okay.
Or blinds, yes.
Oh, okay.
So they are a very essential part of your living room space because it helps bring out your living space as in bring color and life to it.
Okay.
Yes. So your curtain is very essential.
Okay. And
Then,
then what else?
Then your pillows.
Pillows. Throw
Yes.
pillows for the couch.
Throw pillows for the couch, yes. Or
Okay.
floor pillows for just the floor.
Yeah, like the bean bags or pillows
Yes.
itself.
Yes.
Okay.
So pillows are very essential. Pillows are they add character to your space too. You can use them to add some colors to make the space more vibrant.
Yeah.
Then they are such that if you want to change your space, maybe you want to change the color from your space, you can just change the covers of your pillows and your space is
Will
a new
look
space
different.
again. Yes.
Okay.
So pillows are very essential too. Then your mirrors.
Mirrors.
Yes.
What if I don't like to see myself?
Mirrors can be like an art piece. Like in my space, I have mirrors on the wall. It's not for functionality. It's just more for aesthetics. I have little mirrors that just add character to the space.
Okay.
Yes.
But you know that for someone who is probably looking to have a living room space on a budget, a mirror might just be luxury. Or what do you think?
It depends. You can, like the ones I said I have on they're very inexpensive.
Okay,
And
okay.
they add great character. If anybody comes, they will think, oh man, you spent, no, mirrors are not that expensive, depending on how you use them.
Okay.
And what type of mirror you really
use. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can have a console table with a mirror, or you can just have like a mirror frame in one empty part of your wall. Just to add vibrancy to your space.
Okay. And next, what do we have?
Those are the 7.
Oh, those are the 7. Wow.
Yeah.
I felt like there were a few. As you were calling them, I was already trying to count. What do I have in my house? What do I not have in my house? Oh, that was really insightful. I'm sure people watching have started counting what they have and what they don't, and will definitely be looking to contact you. The Exclusive Lifestyle Interiors. I'm sure you have that, and you can make it available for them. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunde Shanu. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure too. Bye.
All right, then. Stay safe. Okay, well, that was interesting. Moving on. Now, Chevy always has something delightful for us, and he is not slowing down as he's making something interesting this morning. You definitely want to see it. Let's enjoy this video.
I thought about tweaking your sandwich. Fillings the best suits your mood. On today's cookout with Uncle B, I'll be sharing a quick recipe. My peanut butter chicken toast sandwich. Rice chicken bread, grate carrots, cut onions. So for our peanut butter sandwich, the first process we're going to do is we'll turn on our heat. We put our pan, we'll go add our onions, join. At this time, we're going to add our chicken.
Chicken breast.
You asked me a question earlier about if you can actually fry chicken without cooking it. Yes, of course. Chicken is actually lean meat. So you can say our chicken is changing. So at this point, we'll add salt. Curry. Cayenne pepper.
What brain?
So at this point, you add a bit of peanut butter.
You know, it's, I think it's one of the most important things, one of the most important aspects of being a Nigerian.
Yeah.
The way you cope with challenges, the way you cope with hardship, and long suffering. You know, so a lot of Nigerians can do that. You find a situation where you're faced with something really tough.
Yeah.
But you know, you take it in your stride and just make jokes out of it. And somebody said yesterday, on Monday, that you know Nigerians channel their fears into comedy and other things like that. So, and I think that's also very good as a distraction for people who are worried, thinking about the future. Not, you know, some people are saying, I heard somebody say yesterday that they don't know if they have a job that they're going back to next week.
Yeah.
You know, so you have issues like that, and
Yeah, I like the way we actually do like a comic relief, and then you see from these videos that some our producers got, you see a video of someone walking and they say coronavirus going home at 7. Like, so coronavirus goes to work. It opens and it closes. And whatever it is you're dealing with, please just find a way to actually make yourself feel better.
Make yourself feel better, make yourself happy. Make yourself laugh, most importantly. You know, I think that's the most important thing you can do during this period, is to laugh out loud. This is called lockdown blues.
We had, you see, Yomi always does this thing. We agree to do something, we come live, then he makes me look like we didn't have a plan.
It's called lockdown blues. She's
it's all right.
She's displaying. So we're keeping our eyes on her during
Hey,
this
please, I'm normal. I'm normal.
Welcome back. It's the third hour of the show. And the first 2 hours has been good. And we'll pass the baton. And finally, we've got 45 minutes left. And it's going to be great.
So I advise you get comfortable. Take the load off and let us entertain you for the next 45 minutes.
Now, remember, if you don't have to be out, please stay indoors. Very important. Observe the highest level of personal hygiene. Wash your hands. Keep your environment clean.
Clean, yes.
Very, very important. And begin to prepare for the end of the lockdown.
Yeah.
That's also very important because you have to mentally prepare.
Yes, you
have
have
to
to.
physically prepare for going back to work. It's going to take a
Yes.
while to get used to.
I'm sure.
But gradually, we're going to ease into it. It's good. It's good. My name is Yomi Ogun.
And I am Tokwe Olonio. Now you have two options. Stay right here with us or get online, stream live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Now, we want you to send comments to us. What are you up to? Are you getting ready to go back to work
Yes.
next week? Let us know. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Maybe we'll take a tweet or two later on.
Send us pictures. Have you arranged your clothes for next week? Are you ready to shut it down?
You can just
your
imagine
masks.
all the chores you're going to have to. If you have shirts, you're going to have to wash,
Ironing.
starch.
I'm sure a lot of people are
iron them.
excited about the idea of even doing something.
Doing something,
Yes.
that activity, getting back to work, seeing
yeah.
your old colleagues that you
Say
never knew
old
you.
colleagues.
Well,
Your colleagues.
You know some of the colleagues that you find it hard to work with, but now you miss
No,
them.
you miss them. Like, come and stress me out. Like, Yomi, stress me out.
Yeah.
Well,
So
now,
really,
if
really
you
important.
haven't yet downloaded our app, yo, come on, don't do this to me. Don't do this. Download it. It's on Android, iOS stores. It's free. It allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. And I get paid to act, so if I'm
No,
gonna,
we do it for free.
Yeah,
It's charity.
yeah, if I'm gonna act, you know, one of the things that I hope will change after the lockdown is how much actors are paid. I want to throw out a challenge to all executive producers and producers out there. You need to do better with your actors.
Yes, you do. I support.
Very, very important. And I want actors also to band together, especially the really, really talented ones, and demand,
Like
fair
a
pay.
minimum wage.
A minimum wage, a fair
Yes.
pay per day for your craft.
Yeah.
I really believe in human dignity.
Yeah, but-
and dignity of labor is really, really important.
And as an actor, I will tell you that it goes, as much as many actors will say, yes, we're going to do this, you would see someone who is actually hungry and who just needs an extra 10K or 15K to pay the next bill,
Yeah.
who would be like, yo, my heart is with you guys, but I need
But
to
I
do
have
this
to do
because
that,
I have
yeah.
bills to pay. So as much as we struggle for the pay to increase, because the amount of value you give versus the amount of money you get, it's not anywhere close to. I mean, not until you get to the star factor level. And even though at the star factor level, you see, they will still collect some amount of money because they have
Which
to
is
feed.
they have to feed.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're an actor, you shouldn't have to do anything else.
In
apart
Nigeria?
from being an actor, that's so that you can focus on your craft. Because a lot of people, when you see comments online, maybe a new movie comes out, people are saying, "Oh, she can't act," or "He can't act," or "He should have done this," or "He should have done that." But
Yeah.
how is she going to do it?
Do it,
if
exactly.
if it's not all she does
Yeah.
24 hours a day. So I feel, if you're an actor, whatever it is that you do, if you're going to focus on your work, you should, put everything you have into it.
You should even be able to take one project per 3 months. Focus on that
That's
project.
the
When
way
you
it
see
should
someone
be.
is jumping from today on this set, in fact, tomorrow you're on this set for 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And 2 p.m. you have gone to the other
Exactly.
set. You're
Imagine
just-
if you're a lead actress in a film and you're paid 5 million to do that film. You don't even have to work for a few months. Now you can focus on the next
Yeah, I'm
project,
looking at you
and
there.
you
Like
get
joke.
another script. You can personalize, internalize the script.
will get there.
If they need you to be fat or slim, to lose
Yeah.
weight or to put on weight during that
can
3 or
do
4
that.
month period, you can do that. Go to the gym, whatever it is. You focus on the work. I think we need to do better with our actors.
We do need to do better, and hopefully the industry journeys to that point where things like this we're talking about will become the norm.
I can be your champion, guys, if you would just
my
pay
days.
me.
Wow. In other news, let's
champion
take
your
the real
cause.
news. Ibrahim is on standby. Please take us away.
Welcome to the news and stand up for the champion.
Oh, wow.
Nigeria has recorded 195 new coronavirus cases. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control confirmed the cases on Tuesday, bringing the total number of cases to 1,532. 255 people have been discharged and 44 deaths have been recorded. 80 cases were reported in Lagos, 38 in Kano, 15 in Ogun, 15 in Bauchi, 11 in Borno, 10 in Gombe, 9 in Sokoto, 5 each in Edo and Jigawa states, 2 in Zamfara and 1 each in the Federal Capital Territory, Rivers, Enugu, Delta and Nasarawa states. The senators approved President Muhammad Buhari's request to raise a fresh loan of 850 billion naira from the domestic capital market to finance projects in the 2020 budget. This loan request is different from the 500.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're staying home and keeping safe. Very important this period. Today on Life Hacks, I'll be teaching you how to make a homemade disinfectant. In these times, it is important to make sure that surfaces that you have the access to the most are well disinfected. And even the CDC has recommended that you make And even the CDC has recommended a recipe which you can use in disinfecting your surfaces like doorknobs, your phones, tables, everywhere basically in your house, especially if you have people coming in and out of your home. There is a possibility of exposure. And let's not forget that this virus could last on stainless steels and plastics for up to 2 or more days. Yes, people. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, all you need to make your homemade disinfectant is a bleach solution and water. You also need an empty bottle like I have here, preferably a spray one so that you can just spray on whatever surface and wipe. Let's get right into it. I have my teaspoon here. I'm just going to put about 3 teaspoons of bleach into the bottle. Because the bleach solution is very strong, you need to be very cautious when working with it. So now I have 3 teaspoons of bleach here, and I'm going to add more water into it. And fill that up with water, and there we have the disinfectant in this one. So bear in mind that before you use your disinfectant, you need to wipe whatever surface you're going to use your disinfectant on clean first, like I'm doing here. So I'm cleaning the table. I'm going to wipe this off first with my tablecloth and then use my disinfectant spray. See why it's easier to use your spray bottle? Okay, so we're getting there. It's getting there. Okay, so I'm just going to spray this on. Yeah, I know, lovely, right? I'm just going to allow that settle in for a few seconds and then wipe again with my tablecloth. Germ free. You don't need to worry about germs because bleach is very, very, very strong. Also, please note that when working with bleach, you don't need to mix it with any other chemical. Please note, when working with a bleach solution, do not mix with any other chemicals. They work best with water. And that's it for today on Life Hacks. If you've tried this, please let me know by sending your comments to our social media platforms at TBC Connect. I can wait to hear from you. Until next time, bye.
Oh, well done. That was a nice one there by MM talking about homemade disinfectants. You know, it wasn't until probably just a few years ago that I discovered how effective bleach was as a disinfectant. But I just always thought it was just a cleaning thing, just using using it like any other thing to clean your house. But bleach is pretty effective in keeping the house clean, surfaces around the house where children play and all of that. Really important to do. Yeah, so bleach, of course, putting stuff together because this is a period where everyone is taking extra precautions. And now lots of people have been stuck at home for a while, and they're about to be unleashed on the earth. So people are about to come out with their different characters and their different habits. So even if you have been keeping clean, you also have to look out for your neighbor
who might not have been keeping clean.
Exactly. So people go to the bathroom, they don't wash their hands, stuff like that.
Even with the whole washing hands thing going on now.
Yeah. So hopefully that has changed. So look out for your neighbor and make sure that you
find out, ensure that they're also, you know,
Washing
being
their
a part
Yeah.
of that clean culture.
Now, on a different note, so yesterday I was on the internet. I was watching a live session, and the topic was how to make a man who is not ready for marriage become ready.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh
And
my goodness. This was a topic.
A topic. And it got me thinking, and I don't really like people to use the hashtag and it got me thinking, and I don't really like people to use the hashtag and tell me what you think. Why is it the woman that has
will
the
make him-
responsibility of making the man ready for marriage? Why do I even have to make you ready for marriage? If you're not ready for marriage, why is the pressure on me?
But were there any guys on the panel?
It was Instagram Live.
Okay,
so
Instagram Live.
It was a guy and a girl
Okay.
that were having the conversation. And what got me was the guy was still talking about why the girl has to make him ready, and the girl was also saying why the girl has to make him ready. And I'm like, what's the pressure?
So both the guy and the girl were saying the girl has to make the guy ready.
Yeah, he did say a time or two about how the guy also has to be ready in one way or the other, but you would see both of them leaning more towards the girl has to put him in the mental space. The guy is looking for a wife in a girl. So if you're doing girlfriend duties, I'm like, wow.
Look, I've always said this,
Pressure.
right? I've always said this. Look, it's up to the guy to know when he's ready to get married. So there are certain people. I've got a cousin who, when he turned 25, like 2 years ago, he said he wanted to get married. And everybody was like,
Is
no,
he in Nigeria?
yeah, he's married now. And
wow.
they were like, no, don't get married and all of that. He said he was ready. So it was mental. It was also like he just felt that he was ready. He was mature enough.
Financially ready?
Of course he has. He has a job. He works in a bank. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, after he got married, he's doing great. He's doing well, and that's at his level.
Yeah.
There are some guys who would probably not come full circle until they're 35.
Yeah.
There are some other
35,
people,
okay.
maybe when they're 30, whatever it is. So some guys, when they turn 30, their mentality begins to shift in that direction. It's a big responsibility. You're starting a family, because you're getting married. It's not just, okay, I married someone. You're actually thinking of starting a family as well. So it's a whole process for a guy.
Isn't it a whole process for a girl as well?
It's a whole process for a girl as well. So look, you can't force a guy to get ready to be married. I'm sorry.
Or you can force a girl?
No, either way.
Okay.
Either way. I mean, you can pressure a girl.
Yes. Natural pressure.
Yeah. So girls usually are, because of society and family pressures, they already feel like, oh, I need to get married. I'm 25. Or I need to get married. I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
And
that
kind of
like
thing.
feel like it's like before they come for me. I feel like it's a Nigerian thing.
Exactly. Before she puts up a picture of success or something that she's done, and they say, oh, she's not even married.
You're not even married.
That kind of a thing.
You talk about something you've achieved in your career, and they're like, is she married? Or I talk about, she's gone now.
Yeah.
Should she marry?
Do you know that is also extended even after you're married? Like, oh, she's so successful, or she married, but she doesn't have kids.
Come on, did we get married already?
So I'm saying, so you shouldn't conform to the world's standards for success or attainment. You understand? So,
but as much as you don't even want to conform to the world's standards, there's the pressure. Because yesterday, I felt like something was wrong with me when I was watching that video. Like, why are you people not saying what I'm saying? Like, why is there why do we have to focus so much on marriage being like you are married or you're getting married now means that you've achieved.
You've attained something.
Isn't it just supposed to be like an order of life?
And then the whole concept of trying to prepare a guy.
Do you understand? Why am I preparing?
It can't work as far as I'm concerned, because you can't force a guy to then make a decision that, you know what, she convinced me to propose.
And then next to something, stuff will go out of the window, and then you're like, it wasn't my fault. You're the one that convinced me.
There's a list of rules that you follow, then suddenly it will end in him getting down on one knee and opening the ring and say, would you marry me?
Don't pressure yourself, sister.
You're kidding.
Go get that money. Get that money. Very important.
Anyway, I think we have got a package or a music video.
Yes. We'll go on a break before we turn to relationship counselors.
I think I
But
should be a
then
relationship
ahead, I
counselor.
knew
I'm thinking
I
about
would support you if you don't use Bible verses. Let's
I'll
go.
only quote scripture, I'm sorry. So
just
if
said
you're
don't
going to be
use-
engaging me, probably 100K an hour.
Please, please, please,
But I'm
please.
going to be
See,
using
this break is
only
very important.
scriptures. We've got a celebrity in the building, in the spirit, joining us in the spirit on Skype right now. Okay, I think we should do an app called Spirit app.
Wow.
Spirit video app.
Wow, you're
Anyway, Femi Jacobs is a Nigerian actor, speaker, and singer. He came into prominence for playing the Makinde Esho in the film The Meeting, which also starred Rita Dominic, Jide Kosoko, and received a nomination for Best Actor. Wow, for his debut role. And at the 9th Movie Academy Awards. He has since featured in many other film projects and is joining us this morning from isolation.
All the way in the abroad.
Oh, he's abroad?
He's in the abroad. He's in the UK.
Oh, so he's stuck in the UK. Hi, Femi. Can you hear us?
Hi, Femi.
I can hear you. I heard all your gossips. I'm not in isolation. I'm just on lockdown. In lockdown. In the UK.
To let us know.
Okay, so
we can't come back yet.
It's not solitary confinement.
It's not solitary confinement. You are safe. You are clean. Your body is okay.
It's the weather. I'm away from that third mainland bridge traffic and.
But how are you though? How have you been?
Atmosphere in Lagos.
How have you been holding up? I mean, considering you're in another country, how has it been for you being away from home or your home country? How has it been managing during this lockdown?
It's not been easy. We actually were a team. We came together on, I think I came on the 15th of March. London was still, the UK was still, agog. Everybody was going about their business. And we were supposed to have a movie called Stepping Into Maggie's Shoes, which we filmed. And we were supposed to be in cinema on the 10th of April in Lagos, but that's been postponed now. And we came to premiere the film. People bought tickets and all of that. I think we were stepping out of the BBC once for interviewing, and everything changes. I mean, everything changes. All of a sudden, when it was built in, we had to cancel the event. We had to go back and do another press round to explain to people that, okay, the event has been cancelled. We haven't chopped your ticket money. We're here in London for it. And we're supposed to have one in London, one in Manchester.
Wow. So this is a lot of things. Yeah. So this is a lot of projects that have to be on hold for now.
Sorry?
I said it looks like a lot of your projects have to be on hold for another few weeks or months as it is.
Maybe months. Because even when we come back, you have to understand that we're waiting for, I am waiting for Hollywood to, sort of like, because apparently know the craft, so sort of let us know the kind of stories we can tell now. Because you see, I don't know if we can go back to business as usual, whether we can just jump back on set. And start filming. I don't know, post-COVID, I don't know how it's going to be. But we hope that we'll still be able to at least film some stories that favor social distancing. Perhaps some sets will insist that you have to do a test before you come on set. I don't know how it would look like.
So it
was like play.
I know.
It looks like it's still going to be quite fluid. But you made your directorial debut at a strange time. But talk to us about that experience for you. I mean, it's a transition from being an actor or a producer to being a director.
It was in December. It was in December when I filmed.
Oh, December.
I had it in mind to film in 2019.
Okay.
And when 2019 was coming to a close, I was like, man, I've got to do this thing. It's a goal I set for myself for 2019. 2020 was supposed to be a year of building my capacity, going back to school and all of that. So I didn't want to film. And I wanted to have that film to take to school so I could, use that as, my discussions and practical whatever when I was in school. So I had to jump on set in December, and it was amazing. Amazing because, I stepped out on it. I didn't know, because I knew about what it meant to direct. I didn't go there blind, so I was really scared. But I made sure I casted a very good actor who was also a friend who I knew would be patient with me with the processes, because I didn't come thinking I knew it all. I came to learn. And Blossom Chigujeku was a trooper. He stepped in and he was amazing. And I couldn't have asked for a better actor. If I didn't have him, I probably would be under a lot of pressure, because he was in almost every scene I filmed. And he was patient. He was kind, and he was, he behaved like a brother, not just an actor. And then I had Auntie Tina Imba on set. I had Susan Fester, on set as well, who I casted because she was. If you check her Instagram page, you will see someone who is passionate. She's just passionate. She just wants to act. So she had that look of innocence. The story was about two people who were raised in an orphanage, who now were apart, and then eventually came back. Both of them had darkness in their story. One went to prison. The other one was trying to relocate abroad through the Libya route. And the story started when both of them returned to the orphanage, because that's where they knew. The movie is called Home. It's still a work in progress.
So we're still work in progress, and
it's almost like when you want to put your life back together, you have to start from where you start.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to.
So it was.
Looking forward to seeing it.
It was an
seeing the project when it's out.
I realized how much money people used to spend to shoot film, and produced and directed, and it was not easy. But
that's really good.
Great
You wanted to say
something? I was going to say that it's really impressive how you have moved from acting, producing, directing, speaking, singing. You're like a bundle of talent.
I wanted to mention his musical career, but we don't have that much time for that. Whether he's going to be going, but we don't have that much time for that. Whether he's going to be going back to music, whether we're going to be hearing anything from him soon. But I expect. But we do have to start rounding off. Femi Jacobs, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
And come back home soon. Lots of people miss you here.
Yes, we do.
There.
Buy us chocolate.
Hopefully, you guys open the airport so we can come back home.
And our giveaway. Our giveaway.
He's not doing any giveaways today. Not live on air.
All right, then. Thank you so much, and stay safe over there.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Very nice. Very nice that he was able to join us on the show today.
When I'm going to make my directorial debut, I'll just be like, thank you so much, Yomi. I trusted you with this role, even though sometimes I had to punch you in the face. You still
You will pay me what is my due. You sign contracts if I'm going to be an actor in your film.
After we wrap now, you'll be saying, Tokwe, please,
There'll be like 7 lawyers on you.
Please, Tokwe, please, help my life, help me. Please. Please, it's been an amazing time with you all, but we gotta go, but we gotta be here tomorrow. You don't want to go anywhere. Yomi?
Yes, indeed. Thank you to all our friends and guests for joining us on the show today, and our experts as well. And we're going to be back for the Thursday edition of the show. Your View is next at 9. Stick around.
All right. Mwah.